My dance teacher once told me, movement happens at the joints. In the anatomy class I was taking at the time, this phrase fit well with the other content we were learning about the interactions of ligaments, tendons, in relation to joints and bones. But really, I think this statement has much more meaning than just anatomically. Movement happens at the joints reminds us that for things to change and evolve, they have to come together. The binaries that we live by, that our world has imposed upon us through systemic oppression, racial capitalism, and white supremacy, are giving us an easier way out than we deserve. The fake binary of humans and nature also exists in the idea of the mind and body being separate. By way of academia and separating subjective and objective ideas, we are often told to separate our mind from our bodies. Because by extension of our body being the first environment we know, outside of that, we have the natural environment, the built environment. Our body-mind holds the essence of ourselves, and each single person is different. So, this separation can be beneficial at times. I think generally it is most harmful and violent. Through commodification and commercialization, as well as the extractive economy. Similar to the myth of progress being one that separates us from the natural world, this separation also, by nature, necessitates a outsourcing of movement, of labor. The commodification of nature allows us to outsource our movement, in addition to outsourcing our relationship to nature. What is inside us is also outside us. Outside our own windows, where nature inevitably is, even if it doesn't look like what we think it should look like. And the outside exists only by nature of the inside existing. And if we think about it like that, we have to remember that the outside of our bodies also exists only by nature of the inside of our bodies existing. Our definition of progress and success has separated us from our natural environment as humans. By seeing this interconnectedness, this interdependence, we not only have more compassion for ourselves, each other, and the natural world. Through this bothness of body and mind, of humans and nature, we can better understand how to celebrate instead of separate, how to connect instead of commodify, and how to regenerate instead of extracting. But we can also allow this interconnectedness to bring us back to the cycles of life. These cycles and systems are very different from those that determine political, economic power. The very systems that the People of Color Environmental Conference identified as part of the problem. Not only are the symptoms of our systems creating problems, we see this in our bodies, and understanding that our bodies and minds are connected, we can better understand not only ourselves, but the world around us. And by doing this, we're not only connecting our bodies and minds, ourselves as humans with nature, taking our place in the cycle of life, instead of subscribing to a linear timeline as has been imposed, we can connect the ends of the lines to form the cycles that natural systems around us, like air and water, flow in. And we can also remind ourselves that we too exist in cycles. Our bodies do not progress on a linear time scale. They exist in cycles similar to the seasons. It is not only these symptoms that we must now fight against, tend to, and care for, but it is also what has created these symptoms that we must address. The decision-making structures, the hierarchies, the linear progress and separation of tasks means that by definition, the system within which we are living, or trying to live, that is working so hard to kill Black and brown people, to extract from the land, this very system is what needs to change. The only way that we can do that is by recreating a relationship to ourselves, our bodies, the spaces we inhabit, the people we live next to, and relearning the cycles and circular nature of time, of life, and of regeneration.